Ahead on 12 News, changing times and changing faces. We head to Plymouth for a unique look at the city's growing diversity. Plus, Hennepin County Libraries announced big changes in service. We'll show you what's different in 2014. But first, a burglary alert in Brooklyn Center.
It seems like there's a very specific MO as far as what the burglar is doing.
12 News starts right now. A string of burglaries targeting a Brooklyn Center neighborhood has police asking people to be on alert.
Police say the burglaries happened over the course of a week within a 3-block radius near 61st and Xerxes. As Delane Cleveland reports, police believe the burglar is targeting homes with attached garages.
When we moved in, it was, we got together and we knew everybody.
By all accounts,
I really think that this is a pretty good neighborhood.
Residents of this Brooklyn Center neighborhood, such as Craig Roysum,
it's just so peaceful, it's just one of the things that attracted us to the area.
And Vern Mindrum,
We've lived here for, 40, 50 years.
call it a great place to live.
I don't think there's been any trouble in this block that I'm aware of.
But the peace and tranquility near 61st and Xerxes was violated last week by a burglar with an eye for small, portable items.
Such as laptops, iPads, iPods, electronic items that could be easily sold maybe at a pawn shop or elsewhere.
Police Commander Tim Gannon says the burglaries occurred between 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. at homes with attached garages.
It seems like there's a very specific MO as far as what the burglar is doing, and that is gaining access into the garage, either through the roll-up door or an access door, and then making his way into the house if possible.
For many in this neighborhood,
In this area right here,
this is the first they've heard of the burglaries.
Very surprising.
Roysum has lived here for 8 years and says the neighborhood has been relatively problem-free until this police warning.
It's very disturbing. I know that we have a burglar alarm and we have 2 dogs here, which I believe is a deterrent enough to keep people away from us.
Burglar alarm and dogs aside, both Roysum
I think it strengthens my resolve to watch what's going on in my area.
and Mindrum
everybody watched out for everybody else.
say the best deterrent is for neighbors to watch out for one another.
Certainly I'm going to be watching more. It doesn't change my feeling on the neighborhood or my neighbors, that's for sure.
Well, Brooklyn Center police say they don't have any suspect information, but they say that people should keep an eye out for pedestrians or bicyclists with backpacks in the early morning hours who look like they don't belong in the neighborhood. Mike.
All right, thank you, Delane. Well, authorities have identified the Brooklyn Center father killed in an apparent murder-suicide. 65-year-old Gilbert Aveda was shot multiple times by his adult son before the son took his own life. The incident happened early Monday in the family's Brooklyn Center home. Amid the gunfire, police say the son's mother was also unintentionally shot in the arm. No motive has been given. So far, police are just calling it a domestic dispute.
After an increase in sudden infant death cases, Brooklyn Center police are raising awareness about SIDS. This year, police responded to 4 infant deaths in a 5-month period. Police say all of the cases were tragedies linked by how the babies slept. To raise awareness, Brooklyn Center police are teaming up with the Minnesota SIDS Center to spread the word about safe infant sleep practices.
They should be put in their own sleep space. That can be a crib, that can be a bassinet, that can be a pack and play, but they need to be in their own sleep space on a firm mattress covered by a tight sheet, and that's all.
Sleep experts also stress that infants should be placed on their backs. Research shows that has helped dramatically reduce SIDS cases.
Minnesota-based addiction treatment provider Hazelden says it's merging with the Betty Ford Center of California. Hazelden currently has a Plymouth facility that specializes in addiction among adolescents and young adults. If the merger with the Betty Ford Center is formally approved later this year, the new entity would be named the Hazelden-Betty Ford Foundation, and it would become the largest nonprofit treatment provider in the U.S. A spokesperson with Hazelden says it's too early to tell at this point if the merger will affect the Plymouth facility, which just completed $30 million in renovations. The face of the Twin Cities is changing.
The generations of old are morphing into the generations of new. Case in point, a recent census survey shows people in the Twin Cities identifying themselves as German has slipped from 35 to 32%. It's a similar story for the metro's Scandinavian heritage. The numbers of those identifying themselves as Norwegian and Swedish have also declined. So who are we now and where did we come from? Sonia Goins heads to Plymouth for an interesting perspective on that city's demography.
Like the colorful vegetables in this wok, the city of Plymouth is becoming a melting pot of its own.
For the entree, pad thai is the #1 sale.
Ketsana Suway Pim owns a Thai restaurant in Plymouth.
It's different than, like the chain and that kind of stuff.
She says she moved her restaurant here in 2010 because she saw a need.
People kind of shocked when they see the Thai restaurant in Nova suburb like this because most of the time, the people who enjoy the Thai food, they say they either drive to Minneapolis or St. Paul to get it.
Ketsana's was named Best Ethnic Restaurant in Plymouth 2 years in a row.
Now they're happy they don't have to go all the way to Minneapolis or St. Paul.
The city of Plymouth says in 2000, the number of non-white residents was only 9.6%.
It has been a lot more of an influx.
But in 2010, that number grew to 15.7%.
Asian backgrounds to Native American backgrounds to Indian backgrounds.
There's a number of Muslims, a lot of Muslims in the area.
Last year, the first Islamic center was built in Plymouth to accommodate the growing Islamic population in the area. And diversity is having an impact here at Wayzata High School. Officials say they're seeing more students of color than ever before.
Okay, and what happened yesterday?
Principal Mike Trewick has been at Wayzata for 6 years. He's seen a noticeable difference when it comes to diversity.
Our Asian and our African American population are the biggest increases that we're having.
And these are students who live in the Wayzata district.
It's no longer just kids that were from Minneapolis, it's kids that are currently in our attendance areas or in the 7 cities that we serve and where we're at that are coming into our buildings.
I don't know, I've been going here since 9th grade, so.
Ashley Menifee says she didn't see many students who looked like her when she first started.
When I first came here, I was a little scared because it wasn't as many people as my kind here.
But now that has all changed.
I met a lot of people, all different types of races. Yeah, I like it now.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Wayzata High School officials say last year 10% of students of color took advanced placement courses, and they say that's a big jump from past years. And these students are also graduating and going to college instead of attending a vocational school. Coming up, celebrating Halloween on a budget.
How the cost of costumes doesn't have to be such a scary thought. And then later in sports, Cooper and Benilde go head-to-head on the volleyball courts.
But first, a warm-up in your AccuWeather forecast. Temperatures are expected to rise into the 80s on Friday.
The doors closed abruptly last month at a Robbinsdale business, but now they're back open once again.
The Lodge Restaurant and Lounge reopened Monday under new ownership. Prior to closing in August, the Robbinsdale business featured live music, bingo, and trivia nights, and the new owners say they don't plan to change that. They might also bring in some comedy acts, but basically the new family owners wanted to get the business back up and running as quickly as possible.
It's not good for the doors to be closed. So we didn't make a lot of changes. The menu's only been revised a little bit. We still have a lot of the same staff came back, so the old favorites are here.
The business hopes to be a spot for Vikings fans as well come game days.
Hennepin County Libraries will have new hours next year to meet customer demand and streamline open and closing times. The county's 41 libraries will be divided into 4 groups based on usage. Most libraries, including Brookdale, Maple Grove, and Plymouth, will have expanded hours. They will open at 9 o'clock Monday through Saturday. Currently, it's 10 a.m. Because of improved scheduling, the added hours are not expected to add to the library's operating budget. Well, you could say it's grim news for retailers in terms of Halloween spending.
And the National Retail Federation says people will spend less on candy and costumes this year. Reporter Shannon Slatton has a few ways to reap some great costumes and still save money.
Arks Value Village is a perpetual hotspot for picking up costumes. The boutique opened a few days ago with a wide variety of dress-up options.
I am Rainbow Bright today. I have the wig, the tights, the dress.
It took only a few minutes for Brianne Raker to put together this Rainbow Bright costume for around $25.
She pieced together her outfit this morning. She's got the helmet for the accessory, her wig, the bandana, her jumpsuit, and the boots. Well, she pieced hers together for about $30.
The boutique has more than 75,000 items for trick-or-treaters of every age, plus plenty of discounted fall decor items too. The boutique is continually restocked with Halloween donations that have been collected year-round.
You can piece things together, you can use accessories, you can find whole costumes. We have brand new makeup items as well, so you can pretty much get everything you need at one stop.
If you have a little one at home, there's a relatively new way to get a costume through Macaroni Kids Costume Swap.
It's a great way to save money on Halloween and save the environment.
For the third year, the Northwest Metro franchise of Macaroni Kid is offering a way to swap out last year's costume for a new one.
They can come in here, bring a costume. In exchange for their costume, they'll get a ticket. This ticket gets them in to the costume swap, and they can take this ticket, trade it in for a different costume at the events.
The swap will be on Sunday, October 6th from 1 until 5 at Anoka Middle School.
We'll only let so many people into the swap area at a time, so the earlier they're there, the earlier they're lined up, the first chance they're going to get to pick out their costume.
Plus, dropping your costume off at some locations, like this Brunswick zone, gets you a free $5 gift card. For Money Saver, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And while you're out shopping, you might notice Christmas items are already showing up on store shelves. Today marks less than 3 months until Christmas. I don't want to hear it. Plug the
Still
ears.
thinking 4th of July.
No, that's right, exactly. Coming up, kids in Brooklyn Park unleash one of the loudest roars you'll hear all week.
But first in sports, Robbinsdale district rivals Cooper and Armstrong battle in girls swimming. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. Well, John Jacobson now with sports, and we have some pretty good teams when it comes to volleyball here in the Northwest Metro, including Hopkins, and so far so good for them.
Right. You know, we've talked about some of the Northwest Suburban Conference teams this year. Osseo unbeaten, Maple Grove and Champlain Park playing well. But yeah, down in the Lake Conference, Hopkins again, a very solid club. Coming off a 5th place finish at the Apple Valley Invitational that included a win over Lakeville North, the Hopkins volleyball team got back into action against Orono on Tuesday. And off the Hopkins serve here, Orono looks to attack, but Samantha Seliger-Swenson and Ellie Mag are there for the block for Hopkins. They lead 16-8 in the first set. Nice dig by Tally Johnson, leads to a back row attack by Audrey Erickson. Her shot crawls over the net for a point. Hopkins prevails 25-12. On to the second set, off the Orono serve, Swenson sets it up to rising star Jasmine Martin. The freshman pounds it home. And another Hopkins win on the way, 25-18. Orono hangs around for a while in the third. They go with a quick attack in the middle to Julia Spacek for the kill and a 9-8 lead. Hopkins, though, too strong for the Spartans. Erickson's first hit dug up. She gets another swing and puts it away here. Hopkins sweeps Orono 25-12, 18, and 17. In the North Suburban Conference, Benilde St. Margaret's and Cooper's volleyball teams are both around the 500 mark this year under new head coaches. Red Knights looking to push their record to 9-8 on the season. First set, Cooper on the left. The Hawks' Jocelyn Wayloggy finds an open spot for her shot, and Cooper's down just 2 points. The Red Knights, though, close the set on a 10-1 run. Leah Nightingale notches the kill, and BSM wins 25-15. Cooper coach Penny Danks and the Hawks fall behind in the second set. Benilde's Maddie Houlihan setting to Emma Bird for the kill, and the Red Knights go ahead. Coach Fong Luong's team wins the second set 25-14, but Cooper plays much better in the third set. Josephine Lindgren for the kill. On set point, Lori Bowler hitting it over, and the Red Knights can't return it. Cooper extends the match. They win 26-24 in the third set. But Benilde regroups in the fourth set. Nightingale puts away another ball here. The Red Knights go on to beat the Hawks 25-7 to win the match in 4. Breck's boys soccer team is looking to bounce back after their first loss of the season to Blake. Mustangs traveled up Highway 100 to face the Brooklyn Center Centaurs in a Tri-Metro Conference matchup. Breck's Andrew Stumpfig sending it with a corner kick into the massive bodies. Deflects off of Alexander Hasselbring, and it's in a 1-0 Mustangs lead. Eric Horseman up the right side delivers a nice crossing pass to Hasselbring, and he puts a shot away for a 2-0 Breck lead. Stemfig gets control, makes a nice spin move around the defender here, and he sets up Hasselbring, who completes the hat trick, and it's 3-0 Breck. It's a busy day defensively for Brooklyn Center. They get a nice stop on the shot here, but it's tough to stop the Mustangs for long in this game. Michael Orkey will send a pass ahead to Horseman, and he puts the shot away. Breck leads 6-0 in the half, and they win it 11-0 in the end. Although Armstrong and Cooper athletic teams haven't competed in the same conference in several years, the two schools do still play each other in many sports. Falcons and Hawks meeting in girls swimming on Tuesday, 200 medley relay. Close race. Cooper's Annie Kleckner-Thiel surging ahead in the butterfly leg, and then the anchor leg. Eliza Beveridge beats out Samantha Sherbet for the Hawks win. 200 freestyle, another tight race. Armstrong's Julia Linebaugh gets the win, edging Cooper's Marion Aylar. 200 individual medley. Cooper's Sarah Hogenboom opens a big lead, and she cruises to victory with a time of 2 minutes 18.16 seconds. In the 50 freestyle, Emma Rule wins the sprint for the Falcons. Kleckner-Thiel is second for Cooper. And in the 100 butterfly, Armstrong's Courtney Evanson, who set a new school record in this event earlier this season, wins this night with a time of 59.59 seconds. The Falcons go on to win the meet 104-66. Coming up Thursday, starting at 4 and 12 News, preview of a couple of football games that are coming up Friday night.
Great. Thanks a lot, John. Still up, a motivational lesson from someone used to giving fiery speeches.
You may recognize him. He's a former Viking captain, and you'll hear from him coming up next.
And finally, one way to let out some energy, these Brooklyn Park youth were on a fitness mission Tuesday afternoon at Northview Junior High, and we should also mention they had a ferocious middle linebacker breathing down their necks. Former Viking E.J. Henderson paid a visit to offer the kids fitness and nutrition tips.
You know, 1/3 of the kids are overweight or having problems with obesity, so giving them these tips and these tools while they're at this age, they act like sponges, so they accept anything that we teach them. So it's good to get to them this age, so when they get my age, they're already set in their ways, and those ways are always positive.
Henderson teamed up with Brooklyn Park Police to organize the event. After a 9-year football career, he founded Youth Pro Fitness to help kids improve self-esteem and lead healthy lifestyles. I'm sure they've heard of him before.
Oh, yeah.
You think?
I would think so, but good for EJ to get out and do some of that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is coming up next, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow with more 12 News beginning at 4.